Hey guys, and welcome to our top 10 favorite films of the decade, the 2010s, boys. My name is Scott Ellis. I'm joined here by Tim McGavick.
I'm back.
Yeah.
Timmy's back.
He's back, baby.
Also joining us, Adam Franey.
I'm back too. 2010s rolls right off the tongue.
No one cares.
Yeah, new decade we're in right now, so we thought it would be a good idea to go back, look back
Yeah.
at our favorite films of the decade.
Easy list. Cobbled together real quick.
Only
is
had
hard.
tens.
Yeah.
It's tough. I mean,
So easy.
these are all five bangers for us. These are all, could easily be our favorite film of a certain year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a tough time with this list, guys.
Me too.
I was sweating bullets, like scribbling away on my phone. Not scribbling, I guess, but hammering away on my phone screen, like reordering.
Yeah. What's
I don't
constantly
know.
doing that?
We'll get to it. I mean,
Tomorrow's-
I just want to preface my list with just my number 10 to like 5, like they're all 5s. So it's just I can't.
I can't
I had a
watch.
hardest time trying to rank these movies.
Yeah.
Like I have a top 100 running list. Impossible.
Yeah. Running.
Like
yeah.
how do you rank your between your 80th and 70th favorite
Yeah.
film?
Yeah.
It's insane.
How do you do that? How do you
Exactly.
compare them? Anyways, let's get to our top 10 of the decade. I'm going to start off.
Oh.
My number 10.
Mhm.
Little
Of the past.
Damien Chazelle.
Ooh.
Which one?
Whiplash.
Ooh.
Yes.
The Kyle Lowry special.
Yes. Recently got Whiplash. Yeah. I mean, what can we say about these movies? Like, literally, I love all of my top 10.
Yeah.
So, like,
Fuck.
I love this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, all I can think about is the ending of it. I mean, just amazing. Just the tension in this
Not my
movie.
tempo.
Yeah. Love this movie. Whiplash. My
Remember
number
that
10.
part?
Boom.
Tim, what's your number 10?
My number 10. Surprising you guys.
Keep away from me.
You might remember when I not Flick Fest, that's a different show.
Yeah.
When I last seen this
No,
like a
that's our
couple years
show.
ago.
Ooh.
Number 10 for me is Me and Earl in The Dying Girl.
Dang.
2015.
I cried.
Written
Yeah,
by
I
Jesse
saw
Andrews,
it.
directed by Alfonso Gomez-Rejon, starring Tyler Mann, RJ Seiler, and Olivia Cook. It's an extremely emotional movie.
Yeah.
It's
saw
probably
it.
the last time I fully cried watching a movie.
In life? Oh.
I've teared up recently-ish, but I was like
I had
weeping,
multiple tears.
weeping from this movie. It's
Yeah.
very well directed. I have not seen The Current War. That's his follow-up.
What?
The one that got postponed. They got like completely messed by Weinstein's
I heard the
editing
director's
company.
cut is good.
Apparently, the director's cut is a lot better. So I'm waiting for
Yeah.
that to come out streaming or somewhere I can watch it. I'm excited.
What,
it's
what was
out.
the gap between those two? The wait?
2015. I think Current War
4 years.
filmed in like 2017, 2018, and then it got delayed and then delayed
Yeah.
again.
Fuck.
So it was like 3 years.
That's crazy. I did not know Current War was that guy.
Yeah.
That makes me want to see it now.
I'm
Okay.
debating whether or not that is the guy now that I'm saying it out loud. I'm almost
It
positive
probably
it
is,
is. I think
yeah.
it is.
I'm sure that it is.
But number 10. Me and Earl and the Dying Girl.
All right, Adam, what's
Well,
your number 10?
Peak.
Right on the
Oh,
bubble.
My number 10 is a little 2015 film.
Me and Earl and the Dying Girl?
Yes. No. Alejandro Gonzalez Inarritu's The Revenant.
Oh.
Damn.
Starring my boy Leonardo DiCaprio. He's very present in my top 10 of the decade.
I could see that.
No.
I have
Shot.
someone that's very present in mind. That's surprising.
Is that so?
Do I have a through line here?
I was incredibly hyped for this movie. You're right.
That was right.
Beautiful. I was incredibly hyped for this movie when it was coming out. I was like, this is going to be an all-time fucking classic, epic tale. And the long takes that Emmanuel Lubezki won the Academy Award for Best Cinematography.
Amazing.
One of the three in a
Obviously,
row.
exactly. Obviously, Leo broke his streak of not winning an Oscar with this movie. Inarritu, I believe, won Best Director. I'm all,
Pretty
yeah,
sure he did,
back to back.
Yeah, he went back
Birdman
to back.
and then
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Same with Lubezki, Birdman, then this for cinematography. Just an amazing movie. Looks stunning. All those wide landscape shots. Leo eats a heart. What more do you want?
He
Sleeps
does.
on a horse.
He does.
Sleeps on a horse.
The Revenant.
5 bang.
It's a 5 for me.
Thank you, sir.
It's a 5 for me as well.
Thank you, sir.
Not on my list though.
Ouch.
Yeah, it didn't make my list.
Ouch.
It was on the bubble. It was on the bubble. Honestly, like, it could have been on the list.
Listen,
It depends on the day.
I'm the Leo stan.
I knew it.
I'll do what I need to do to get him at every single film on my top 10.
Yeah. All right, my number 9.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Little Alex Garland flick.
Oh.
one of the first films I feel like we watched together.
2015.
I think
Oh,
so. I think
shit.
2015.
Big year.
Yep.
Ex Machina.
My man.
Ex Machina. I love this movie. I love the cinematography in this.
Yeah.
It's it's a thinking man's film. you know?
Yeah, it is.
It's
Feast for the mind.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love this movie. I don't have a whole lot to say.
Tear up the fucking dance
Except-
floor.
Yeah, dude. One of the funniest moments. One of
Of
the
the decade.
most surprisingly
Oh my god, I
surprisingly
laughed in the
hilarious.
theater.
We see that. We
I
saw
feel
it
like-
together,
together.
right?
I
Yeah,
think you
yeah,
were
yeah,
all
yeah.
yeah. We
like Jake was there. I feel
Jake McCannell
Yeah.
shouts out.
Yeah, he was there.
I just remember cackling at that.
like. Yeah,
That was
like
insane.
screaming. Like it was like. "Ah!"
Like nothing will recapture seeing it for the first time.
Yeah.
In this incredibly like tense, nail biting thriller. And that moment just blew my mind.
It's
yeah.
definitely one of the reasons why it's on this list when I think about it. Like
Yeah.
it was just a great moment
Yeah.
in my like movie watching,
Career.
not career, but like my life of movie watching.
Yeah.
It's a good
Your
moment.
cinephilia.
Yeah,
Yeah, that moment stands out.
It was a good
For sure.
moment. But yeah, the film's amazing. I mean,
Yeah, it is.
Alicia Vikander's breakout
Yeah.
role.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, like the CG was amazing as well with her. Like she just looked amazing.
Best visual effects winner.
Yeah,
Got the
crazy.
award.
Yeah, Ex Machina, loved it. My number 9, Tim.
Great call.
My
Great
number
call.
9 is written by Aaron Guzikowski and directed by one Denis Villeneuve. This is Prisoners.
Ooh, shit.
Shot by Robert Deakins. He appears a few times on my list.
Two-time.
Starring Hugh Jackman, Jake Gyllenhaal, and Paul Dano. I was already kind of a Jakey G fan. I was always pretty okay with him. I had seen Donnie Darko and some other stuff. And then I saw Prisoners, and I was like, this guy needs to be nominated for an Oscar because his
Yeah.
role as Detective Loki is insane.
Yeah, amazing.
He was not nominated. And this movie was largely ignored at the Oscars.
No.
But it's so good. It's super tense, super well written, amazing direction. Performances are great, and killer ending that I still love watching. That little whistle is crazy.
Yeah.
So,
Wow, that was beautiful, man.
Yeah, that was like a
Beautiful
streak of like
movie.
Denis movies like getting snubbed.
Yeah.
Like he's like the classic person.
This is like memory lane. I forgot all the like narratives. Like I forgot that Prisoners was amazing that year, and then
Yeah.
got
they
nothing,
got nothing.
and we were like triggered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like at that time, like it was like you had to be like known. I feel like
Yeah.
to come out of nowhere, like was pretty rare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas now you get, obviously like we get Parasite. Not that he's not known,
Yeah.
but I don't know. It just feels like more open to different things. I get like Moonlight, like Barry Jenkins out of
Yeah.
nowhere,
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
right? Whereas like a couple years before that, like it just wasn't. There was like the Oscar movie,
Yeah.
Oscar Beatty thing. It's like Denis kind of got like shafted a little bit in those few years,
Oh yeah.
but
He was up for best foreign though.
For on Sunday.
Yeah, like right before Prisoners.
That's 2010. Yeah.
So
Almost made my list. Just shy.
yeah, shit,
Just shy.
really.
It probably could
boy.
have made my list at some point.
All
All
right.
right. I don't know what my
Prisoners.
number
All right,
9
Adam. What's
is.
your what are we on number 9?
Number 9.
Let me just
Log back into your phone like a boomer.
hang on, fellas. My number 9
Mm-hmm.
is a little 2017 film I like to call Dunkirk.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Mr. Christopher Nolan.
that didn't make my list.
I just knocked this off my
Ouch.
list. I had it at 10, and I was like,
so far.
I could have it on there. It's like number 11 right now listed, I think.
Fuck.
I like it more every time I see it. Christopher Nolan is a god.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
Was my favorite director coming into the decade. Denis is certainly battling with him now. They are like the two titans in my world.
Would you say Nolan was like the 2000s
I
director?
would absolutely?
And then Denis is the 2010s?
Absolutely, I would, Scott.
Yeah,
That's
I feel
exactly
that
how
way.
I would say
feel
it.
that way.
And now I feel like 2020, the new decade, is starting perfectly with both of them going head to head.
Yeah,
Tenet,
Tenet
Dune.
versus Dune.
It's like it's amazing.
I'm
But
so excited.
yeah, just one of my favorite war movies of all time.
Yeah.
Did something I've never seen in a war movie before with the timeline dilation. I just thought all of that was genius.
The Nolan twist, Nolan spin.
The Nolan spin, Tom Hardy, the one of the most iconic shots of the decade,
Yeah.
standing in front of the burning plane. Hoyt van Hoytema,
Yeah.
just shot it beautifully. Maybe probably Nolan's best looking film. I just rewatched the Nolan filmography,
Mm.
so
Yeah, probably is the best.
Stunning. It's stunning.
it's stunning. Yeah, so blue.
Like to get actual like planes and shit like that.
Oh,
and, like
yeah.
all that stuff.
Don't even go there. Fucking guy was going
Crazy.
psycho, crashing real
Real
World War
planes.
II
In
planes.
the water and like,
Yeah,
Sorry, about that.
the man is a savage. But yeah, Dunkirk.
damn,
number 9.
Dunkirk.
So I'm 0 for 2. No Revenant,
Oh,
no Dunkirk.
No.
That's good.
Ouch!
It's good. It's good to be different.
Yeah, it's good.
I like it. All right, my number
me.
8. 3 billboards outside
Oh,
Ebbing, Missouri.
Really?
Shazam.
Yeah. I'm guessing that's not on your list.
No.
That's a
Oh,
5 for me,
I like
but
it.
it's not on my
Whoa.
list.
It's a good pick, yeah.
Yeah.
I just remember. I mean, we saw this movie at TIFF.
Yes, we
I don't know.
did.
You probably weren't there.
I was there for this one.
You were there.
Yes.
That's why it's
This
on
is the
here.
year that I saw the most movies at TIFF.
Yeah. I just the experience of that
It was
movie
great.
in
Electric.
the theater at TIFF was amazing.
Yeah, the theater, the
Uproarious.
audience were
Like uproarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uproarious laughter.
Like so funny and so devastating. Like there was some devastating moments,
Yeah.
like when her like daughter leaves and
she
yeah,
just
that
like
whole-
yells, "I hope you get."
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
my God.
like stuff like that.
The air left the room.
Yeah, like that. I feel like that hits so much harder because of where we were, and I think it's an amazing film, and Sam Rockwell's amazing in it.
He was there.
like
It was great.
Academy
unreal.
Award winner.
Yeah, I just love this film. I just think it's just such a savage, like biting film. I just
Relentless.
It is, yeah.
it's just like the writing is amazing. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I love
Marty
it.
McBee.
Yeah,
Snubbed for best director that year.
I'll never forget that. Best
Still angry about
writing,
that.
best picture, best acting.
2 acting awards,
No director.
3 nominations for acting, 2 of them winners. Director not nominated.
crazy.
Makes sense, though.
It's insane.
What is he?
My number 8
of
of the
It's
decade.
crazy.
Tim, what's your number 8?
My number 8 is
Rope.
a little Alex Garland film. This one, however, is based on a novel by Jeff Vandermeer. This is 2018's Annihilation,
Oh man.
starring Natalie Portman, Oscar Isaac, who appears a couple times,
Probably several times.
Jennifer Jason Leigh, and Tessa Thompson. I remember seeing this in theaters way back in February. I thought the trailer looked great at the time, and I was like, "Oh, it got a fucking like February release." I'm like, "This is not gonna be good."
Yeah, it was
Oh.
a little.
Oh, it's great.
But,
Oh, you were
but
wrong.
I was wrong.
That's a 5.
Atmospheric as fuck.
The
Effects
shimmer.
are insanely cool. That bear still haunts my dreams.
Terrifying.
Yeah, one
I
of the
had,
scariest things I've ever seen.
Yeah,
It's just something so ominous about the whole
It's
movie.
insane.
Just
it's a very You're just
Unnerving,
You're on.
like-
You're unnerved like from the start.
The
He
score.
immediately puts you in that place. You're
Otherworldly.
just like,
and
yeah.
the lighthouse sequence, like
yeah, that's
What?
still. I rewatch that on YouTube occasionally. I'm just like, I
It's
need to watch this.
terrifying.
I'm like, oh,
every once in a while, I just want to feel, so I watch that
Yeah.
scene, just to get the tingles.
I haven't
Down my
watched it in
spine.
whole in a while. Probably haven't seen it in probably a year and a half or so. But it's due for a rewatch. It's so good.
Annihilation.
She's a 5, bud.
Tim's number 8. All right, Adam, what's your number 8?
My number 8, coming in at my first mention of this man's name at
But not
2000.
the last.
Not the last.
Oh,
A 2015 French Canadian directed
Ooh.
Denis Villeneuve.
Ooh. You're
film.
going with a
Interesting.
different one though.
Sicario.
Sicario.
Yes, Sicario.
Interesting.
Again, we saw it TIFF.
Yeah,
I believe the whole
whole
crew,
gang.
the whole gang,
I was
if
there,
you will.
You got a nice photo of that moment.
Beautiful photo. Yeah, just I don't know what I
We,
can
no
say.
cam- we didn't have any cameras in the theater though.
No,
Yeah,
we would
nothing
never
like
do
that.
that. That's
We would never do
despicable.
that, yeah.
We're not sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. This movie stuck with me. Like I rewatch it. It's like a once a year movie.
so good.
It's just Roger Deakins again, absolutely destroying cinematography.
Yeah,
The night vision sequence, you name it. The bodies in the walls opening. Benicio del Toro, what I think is his best role.
yeah, absolutely.
I remember just thinking like this guy's never been used to his full potential the way that he's being used in this movie.
The border scene, the border crossing.
Oh, Scott.
my
So
lord.
tense.
Get down, We're looking through scopes through the windows.
I feel like the direction, like the pure filmmaking on display here
Give it to me.
is like
Give it to me.
it's just amazing.
A master at work.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
couple masters of
Yeah.
their crafts.
Like
You
stuff.
got
Just
Deacon,
that
you
camera
got the
mounted
knee.
on the back of the police escort as they're like driving through Mexico and it's like panning across like people hanging from the building. I'm like, those people are probably actually hanging there. I'm like, oh my god,
Yeah.
It is a masterclass in tension. Like,
it's insane.
Emily Blunt was incredible also.
Yeah.
Again, running theme, no Oscar love.
Yeah, nothing.
Just gutted me.
absolutely brutal.
Still not sure what's going on. With...
Written by the great Taylor Sheridan as well.
Yes, thank you for reminding me. He had himself a decade as well. But
Yeah.
Sicario.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump in with my number 7, Sicario. Just keep it going.
Keep it going, Denis,
fuck,
Denis,
man, I don't know. What else to say? I mean, it's amazing. Just
Well said.
masterclass. I don't know. Like there's like video essays about sequences, and it's just like, oh man, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
Everything. I mean, there's just something about some movies that just look so cool as well. Like I don't know, like all the characters are just like cool.
Yeah.
The writing, it's just so super on point, like witty. I don't know. Everything is just like, it's a
It all
vibe.
comes together.
It's a vibe. There's a vibe.
What did Cameron say at TIFF? It's a mood.
It's a
movie's
mood. Yeah.
big mood.
This is like Sicario is a big mood, and I'm
Yeah.
fucking all in for that mood. Yeah, it's my number 7,
Right.
Sicario.
I'm
Tim?
loving
My
this.
number 7 has not been mentioned yet.
Ooh.
Sicario 2015.
Oh, shut up! Really?
Let's just keep
Yeah.
it going.
No way! What?
I have nothing else to add. It's fantastic.
Yeah, fuck Sicario.
I guess I'm up again.
What a moment.
This one has not been mentioned. I'm pretty confident it won't be mentioned. I feel this one is very personal to me. Very nervous. I don't know how people feel about it. I think it's polarizing. A Martin Scorsese.
Oh, Shutter Island.
Yes, sir.
You do love this movie.
I love it. I've as long
Did
as
you
I've known
rewatch
you.
that recently?
No.
Oh,
I rewatched it a couple years ago recently.
were we talking about it recently or something?
I
Adam
will
brings
talk
it up.
about it any chance I get.
I feel like I talked about it recently.
It's Leo's second appearance on my list.
Mm.
It just blew my mind when I saw it in 2010. It continues to blow my mind.
It's really good.
Got forgotten because of the February release. But
Mm.
Leo's incredible in this movie. Mark Ruffalo's great. Ben Kingsley's great. It looks gorgeous. You want to talk atmosphere? It's one of the creepiest atmospheres. Not like jump scary, but like just eerie.
There were some jump
There were a
scares.
couple jumperoos,
Yeah,
but
I remember that in the theater.
just sequences that I don't know, man, that just blew my mind. Like pretty unforgettable Leo in the pond with his kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of the most gut-wrenching things I've ever seen. I don't know, just stuff that like just chilled me to the bone like that. Even Leo, like he has a flashback to when he's in the war and he's just watching that guy bleed out and just gently kicks the gun out of his reach of his hand and just like I don't know, Scorsese was just doing some like bone-chilling shit in this movie.
Yeah.
And one of my like favorite twists of
Yeah, iconic.
I
ever.
do love that ending.
I
It's
think.
great, yeah.
the
Yeah, it's like
classic.
Sixth Sense level. Like
Yeah,
like
thank
twist.
you.
It's
Yeah,
like-
and no one talks about it.
No one talks about it. You
it's
know,
like
a
one
lot
the
of
best
people
twists.
like poo-poo it. I find
Yeah.
when I say one of the
Gets
best
trashed a lot.
twists, they're like, "Oh, like I knew from the trailer he was the
Yeah, but
missing
That's
guy."
not the twist, though.
That's not the twist, guys. Like,
It wasn't like a Shyamalan level, like, like The Village or something. Like there were literally no like foreshadowing, like no
Yeah.
foreshadowing whatsoever.
right?
Like there was definitely foreshadowing in
There was.
in Shutter Island, but it's just done so well.
And it, like a great twist recontextualizes the whole movie.
Yeah,
Like you immediately need to watch it again, and you just see so many clues. Yeah.
but like for example, like Village, like when the twist happens, you're like, okay, I didn't see this coming. Like you get hit by a train. It's like
Yeah. Smacked in the face.
you're like, okay, like was there any foreshadowing? Like trying to think, like okay, no, there was nothing.
Yeah.
But then when Shutter Island happens, you're like, oh, like that moment when that happened, and like when that,
the light bulb moment, right?
yeah, you're like, oh fuck, that was him. Like
yeah.
you actually think it makes you think more about it. Like it was
And-
a smart, like it was a good twist.
The reason I love this movie so much is that you could take the twist out and it would still be amazing.
Oh, yeah.
I love the trapped, alone, paranoid type style of film.
Like it's
Where-
like a noir.
Yeah,
It's from that.
exactly. Like it's like
Detective
One
film.
Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, but like a noir
Yeah.
or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It just I love Shutter Island.
Damn.
It's a good choice.
There you go. Thanks, bros.
My number, we're on 6. This film I found I had a really hard time picking where this was going to be on my list.
Oh shit!
Probably because it just came out. Parasite.
Whoa!
Still haven't seen it.
What?
You freak!
What the fuck? This made
It's
number
okay, it
6 of
didn't,
the decade.
It also got snubbed by the Oscars. I don't think it won any major award or anything, right?
Bong Joon-ho. I mean, this movie is a masterpiece. I just had
perfect film.
Yeah,
I'd say.
I don't want to say too much now for Tim,
I
but
haven't seen it. Please don't mention
I mean, I think the thing I've always said to people is just the less you know, the better.
It's too much to know.
But
Really.
I mean,
Dude, don't ruin it.
the twists. There's so many twists, though.
Yeah, I literally know nothing about this movie still. I've
Shut
avoided
up.
I know it's basically like a poor family moves in with a rich family. That's all I know.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know.
That's all I know.
I tell people all the time. That's all you need to know.
I mean, it has a lot of social commentary to say, but at the same time, it's just such a thrilling movie. It doesn't hit you over the head with it. Like,
Yeah.
you get it. You instantly get it. And it hits you hard. Like, with those moments where you're like, oh, fuck. Again, I don't want to say too much, but there are some hilarious scenes, and, like, all the characters of the family, like, they feel, like, fully formed. They each have their moment, and some crazy twists. And not just one twist, like, there's not one overarching, like, Shutter Island twist.
Yeah.
There's, like,
Correct.
6 twists and turns.
Yeah.
And it just kept you on your toes the whole time. And, yeah, it just feels like the type of, international film that is, hopefully can,
Open eyes.
yeah, like, break that dam. I don't know, like, be that the straw that breaks the camel's back. I don't know what phrase I can use, but
Hey.
the one that opens people's eyes to international films more, because there's so much they have to give. And I just think of,
Especially South Korea.
yeah, like some films that came
I
out
love so many
recently
movies
that
from there.
Me too.
like I'm just thinking about Shoplifters. Like, that didn't make my list, but like movies like that are just done so well. There's been a lot of Korean films, that came out recently as well.
Burning.
Yeah,
Oh,
Wailing.
Burning's amazing.
Oh! Handmaiden.
Handmaiden.
Amazing.
So many girls.
Train to Busan.
Train to Busan.
I feel like.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
It just there's so much that international cinema has to give, and Parasite, is the poster child of that. I feel
Get
like
hype for the HBO series, bud.
Yeah.
You got 6 hours more of Parasite coming, I guess. Truly one of the strangest things I've
I'm a
ever
little
heard.
nervous. I'm a little nervous.
One of the strangest.
I still don't know what it
things.
is. If it's a remake or like a. Apparently, Mark Ruffalo might be in it. Like, I have no idea.
Yeah, he's rumored to be the lead.
And it gets stranger. Okay.
Just to go on a tangent, I mean, Bong Joon-ho has said that when he wrote Parasite, he had a much longer script, and he just wasn't able to fit everything in. So what I imagine, especially with the Mark Ruffalo thing, is just like an English like remake, but like they just do the full script.
And they turn into HBO like limited series.
Yeah, like a Watchmen like
So
6
weird.
episode thing, and like
Yeah.
limited run, and you just do it
It's
with
a
an American
choice.
cast.
I feel like if it won Best Picture, like, is that not enough to just make you watch the fucking movie? Do
Yeah,
you really
right.
need
Yeah.
to do like an HBO?
But the director, it's not like
he's
like-
directing it.
he's like
Or-
executive producing it, whatever. It's like
True.
this.
Okay. Well, that's a very good
That
sign.
gives me some hope.
For sure.
It's not like Downhill,
Yeah.
right? Force majeure, whatever.
Right.
It's not like
Oh,
that.
I
Where
thought
like
you meant
someone's like, that movie was good. Let me just do that, but English.
Yeah.
And like the original creator has nothing to do with it. This HBO series is Bong Joon-ho. Anyways, that's my number 6.
That's,
Tim?
that's bonkers.
My number
I love it.
6, I assume, will be on probably both your guys' lists. Maybe not at this point. Maybe a little bit higher, yes. But it is 2011's Drive.
Oh.
Written by Hossein Amini, directed by Nicholas Winding Refn. Starring Ryan Gosling, Carey Mulligan, Albert Brooks, Oscar Isaac again, and Bryan Cranston.
Standard.
Interesting that you would have that on your list.
That's very interesting that you would have that on your list.
It's so good.
It's interesting that you think that.
Gosling's great.
Hmm.
You love Gosling. He dressed up as his character last Halloween, I believe.
Thank you. I
Um,
did.
I remember seeing it in theaters. It was super tense. Did not expect to see a man's skull get crushed. That was terrifying. That's all I got, man. It's great. It's
Well
so good.
said.
So good.
Just
That score is just like...
I was just gonna say,
Martinez.
flashbacks to like sitting in the theater, like him driving at nighttime with
Yeah.
like the neon lights and shit,
Yeah.
and it's just like the opening score
Yeah.
with like the fuck, like it's like Nightcrawler or something. The song.
Yeah.
You want to talk about a vibe?
Dude, that is a vibe. That's a mood.
I remember
like-
seeing the trailer for this, and the trailer was just the first minute and a half of the movie, pretty much, was like the
Yeah.
trailer that they showed, where
Oh my
like him
God.
waiting for like the
Yeah.
people
They're
going to the bank.
Like the
Yes.
I don't even know how to
And he
describe
straps
that.
his watch to like the steering
Yeah,
wheel.
it's like
and,
the clicking, the ticking clock kind of vibe.
so good.
All right.
Howard Brooks, so villainous. Loved it.
My number 6.
Yeah.
Cease.
It's going to be the first appearance made by one of my favorite directors of all time. First and only appearance. I don't know. You guys may not have it. Probably won't. But it's a little western. A little western I like to call Django Unchained.
Oh,
2012.
interesting choice.
Quentin Tarantino.
See.
I love this movie. It's a 5. Obviously, it goes without saying they're all 5s. I keep banging 5s off. But Christoph Waltz won the Academy Award.
He did. Yes.
One of my favorite Leonardo performances. Another appearance from
Candy.
him. Calvin Candy.
Calvin
He was
Candy.
amazing. I guess was eclipsed by Christoph, but I just thought he was so amazing. Obviously iconic, injuring himself scene. Jamie Foxx was great. Looks gorgeous. Like I just rewatched the trailer for all these, trying to help rank them any way I
Yeah,
could. I'm like, what can I
smart.
do? I'll watch fucking trailers. Maybe that'll help. Underrated cinematography. Some of the wides of those landscapes, like when they're in the desert or when they're going through the snowy mountains, like by
Yeah.
horseback, just had that epic sprawling feel.
Yeah.
3-hour runtime as well, obviously. Tarantino won one of his 2 best original screenplays for this one, I believe. Just maybe my favorite western of all time. I just thought it was hilarious, amazing action. I love this movie. And Samuel Jackson,
Django.
maybe my favorite role of his ever.
He's
Like,
great in this.
Yeah, he's
Hilarious.
amazing.
Django.
Yeah, amazing. I guess we're on number 5.
Oh my
Top
god.
5.
I'm literally terrified right now. I
This
have.
film, my number 5 is. This director is making his second appearance.
Oh shit.
A little Damien Chazelle.
Ooh, really?
A little La La Land.
Really?
Ooh la la.
Yes, a little
Land.
Ryan Gosling. I guess
One of
he
those.
makes a few appearances on my list. Not gonna lie.
We are Gosling approved on
Yes.
this podcast.
Emma Stone. I love this movie. I don't know. I feel like it's it's sort of out of character, like this type of movie in my top 10, but like musical, But I felt this movie like
You
the
felt
end of this
that.
film. I felt that. I don't know. It's amazing. Like all the music, all the songs were masterful. The cinematography, the editing, like that sequence on the highway, was just amazing.
Forgot about that part. Oh my God. It is amazing.
Super iconic.
Yeah.
I
The
just
ending's
love this
great. I
movie.
feel like if the ending wasn't what it was, it
Perfect
would not be a
ending.
5. Like if they ended
Yeah.
happy, I would have been like, eh. But the fact that it ends the way it
Bittersweet.
ends,
Would have been a good crowd pleaser. I feel
Yeah.
like if it ended differently.
Yeah.
But with the ending, it's like, oh, Damien, you sick bastard.
this one's a 5
teared
for
up.
me as
I
well.
teared up.
5. Yeah.
I teared up during the end of this film. Yeah. Damien
It was on the
Chazelle.
cusp.
La
for
La
me.
Land.
It was very much on the
Almost
cusp.
Best Picture. Almost. Almost.
It got a moment.
Yeah, it had its
It
moment.
felt the moment.
Got overshadowed in that
Just do it
moment.
more often.
Tim, what's your number 5?
Number 5 has been mentioned already.
What the
This
fuck?
is the second appearance by this director. Alex Garland's
Mm.
Ex Machina.
Ex Machina. As the
Starring,
plebs say.
plebs also say Donald Gleason. It's not. It's Dummel.
Domhnall.
Donald Gleason.
Oh,
Alicia
I love
Vikander,
Ex
and once
Machina.
again, Mr. Oscar Isaac for the third
How many
time.
Oscars?
It's
What?
3.
Holy shit.
Is that
dude.
3? That's 3.
Ex Machina could have been.
Daniel Day-Lewis?
Higher for me.
3 Oscars?
Right.
I love this movie.
Yeah, cinematography,
It's
as Scott mentioned earlier,
It's a
is
5.
fantastic.
Stunning.
Performances are great. Domhnall, this introduced me to him, I think, maybe. I maybe had seen him in something that I didn't realize who he was, but he is
Like
so good in this movie.
Dread.
About time, around this time as
That
well.
might have been.
Yeah, he had a streak going.
He had a good.
Revenant.
streak.
I've seen a lot of his movies, apparently. I've looked
And
at his
then Star
filmography and
Wars.
I've seen literally
Hux
everything.
killed them. For me.
Yeah, me too. That Peter
Yeah.
Rabbit didn't help.
Yeah. He took the bigger budget thing.
Show's been Mother, apparently. Yeah, there's not much more to be said. It's such a good movie. I love this. The ending again is just like So good.
Just
Amazing.
stab
So
your
good.
heart right out, eh?
That might be a trend. I just love
Yeah.
those ambiguous like endings.
Yeah.
I love them so much more than like a super satisfying
Yeah.
like everything's in their place ending.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like that-
tied with a bow.
Yeah, like I feel like, you know, when directors do that, they have that ending.
Yeah.
It's just so much more confident to me.
Yeah.
Like they have more confidence in
Yeah.
their craft.
Which is good because like it's really hit and miss because you get some that are ambiguous and you're just like that wasn't just ambiguous just to be ambiguous, but
Yeah.
there's ones that like have purposely done it just to like
The ones that have
be like, hey,
emotion.
the story's not done, but this is where we're finishing it. Kind
Yeah.
of like type of idea instead. It's like
There's like a message. There's an impact. There's like a reason for
Yeah.
it that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah.
Adam,
What are we on, 5?
number 5.
All right, number 5. It's a little film that has, in fact, been mentioned.
Mm.
Mr. Damien Chazelle's Whiplash.
Whiplash.
Saw this with you.
We saw this together, downtown Toronto.
Yep.
Shouts out.
Got pizza after.
Got pizza after. It was a magical
Oh.
day.
That's cute.
It was fucking amazing. I loved it. I believe it immediately shot into both of our top 10 of all time,
Yeah.
which is like insane looking
Yeah.
back. I don't think it's happened since. Maybe one other movie that might be on my list. I might need to rejig my top 10 because I don't know, like, I have this in my top 10 all time, and then there's 3 movies above it on this list, or 4, sorry, that I don't know if they're in my top 10. So it's like, obviously, I
Really?
need to do some reordering. Yeah.
So your top
You
4
know what I'm
after
saying?
this are not in your top 10 of all time?
Yeah. 2 of them are not. Yeah.
But that's your current.
But I'm saying-
Whiplash is.
Yes, but I'm saying, like, making this list today has made me realize, okay,
You've
I'm going to need, like, an update. My
Yeah.
top 10 is, like, 10 years old
It's
at this
changing,
point,
it's
like,
changing,
or
yeah.
5 years old, you know?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so I'm going to have to stay tuned to my letterbox. Yeah, just inspired me like I've never felt so inspired. It's like, it was like Rocky level, like, I don't even know. Just one of the most inspirational movies, just watching someone, I mean, R.I.P. Kobe, like, Miles Teller has Mamba mentality in this movie.
True.
He literally goes like Super Saiyan. J.K. Simmons, one of the best performances maybe ever. He blew my mind.
He's
in
so
this. Yeah, Academy Award.
Perfectly cast.
Yeah.
Perfect casting.
I think we saw this the same day that we saw Foxcatcher.
Yeah, we did. I was going to mention that.
We
That's
saw
right.
Foxcatcher
Yeah.
first thing in the morning at like a 10 a.m. show, and then hopped
Double.
on the GO train to go see Whiplash at like 2 o'clock.
I
Crazy.
believe
It was,
double best picture feature.
Yeah, I think so.
That
Yeah,
year?
yeah.
Yeah, I just it was like a thrill ride, man. I love this movie so much. Like you mentioned, iconic ending, and it just, you know, I love a good moral dilemma. It's like, was it fucked up what J.K. was doing, or was it the right thing because it
Pursuit
worked?
of greatness.
Right, pursuit of greatness. Like, he did push him to go GOAT status at the end. Yeah, just amazing movie.
All right, we're in top 4 territory. I feel like these films now, for us, are like
Now we're
life-altering.
Oh,
like
well, like I just mentioned, now we're getting
like this
all
shit is
time.
Are mine
Damn
life altering?
near.
Yes, they are. All
this shit is like this is all-time shit. Right?
Yeah, this is all time shit.
So
Well said. That's a tagline for this episode. This is some all time shit.
fuck.
You ready, man?
No,
This is
my
gonna be
number
documented
4.
for the world.
Little Chris Nolan, Inception.
Thy
Ooh.
goat. That's amazing. Thank you.
2010. This film
Incepted
is
me.
10 years old. It's right on the cusp. Almost didn't make
Don't say
the
that.
list because but it is 2010.
We are getting old.
Fuck. What can you say about Inception? Like, goddamn. I mean, just masterful use of the different levels of the mind, of the dreamscape. Like, this literally blew my mind when I saw
Yeah.
this in theaters.
Yeah. I have omitted this from my top 10. I'm just gonna.
See, how is that
Spoiled there.
possible?
I don't know.
Because
I was going through my list. I'm
you're
like,
just like, yeah, it's a 6.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know
Like,
why.
I feel
I
it's an
just like, I
all-timer
was
for
like,
you, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know why it's not on my top 10 of the decade, but
I would do some jigging
yeah,
very fast.
I don't know. Just
I saw it. I looked at all my 5s and I saw Inception. I'm like, okay, yeah, it's up there. And then when I really focused on Inception, I'm like, this movie is fucking amazing, like iconic, amazing, like unreal. And it's been 10 years since it came out. And I feel like, it's tough. Like if it was fresh, like if we did this list in 2011,
I feel like I need to see it again because I haven't seen it since like 2013. Maybe.
This movie is amazing. I mean, like I said, just the levels of the mind. I mean, we got Leo. I mean, this cast, the extended cast, even that opening sequence with what's his name?
Whatever his name is.
That, but what's his name? The Japanese
Ken
actor.
Watanabe.
Yeah, Ken Watanabe. Like that whole thing with the water flowing in and just fucking Chris Nolan at the top of his game, and just the mystery box of this film itself. Like going into it, just knowing basically nothing. Like what is this? Like the whole like city is like doing this and shit, and it just literally blew my mind. And obviously one of the best endings of all time, in my opinion, with the spinning top. I mean, that's just amazing. You got Tom Hardy in there as well.
Yeah, my first Tom Hardy.
Levitt. Marion Cotillard as well is in it. Just amazing film.
Yeah. Michael Caine.
I would be remiss if I didn't put this in my top 10. But it is one of those movies now, because it is 10 years old. It just feels like, it's top whatever, it's top 4.
It's Inception.
Like, it's just like a done deal. It's like it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's my number 4.
I regret not having it on my list. My number 4 came out last year. It was my favorite of last year because I have not seen Parasite yet. This is The Lighthouse.
Whoa! 4 of all. I was gonna say all time.
Of the decade.
Of the decade. Damn.
Written by Max Eggers and Robert Eggers, directed by Robert Eggers, starring Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe, who were. This movie got no love at the Oscars. I'm so sad.
Cinematography nom.
Should have won.
That's
probably
something.
Really got edged out for me. This almost made the top 10.
Yeah, this movie is so atmospheric. I saw it with Scott. I just didn't know what to expect from it, and it blew like everything out of the water for me. It's so atmospheric. Amazing. Performances are so amazing. Mm-hmm. The score is so creepy with the foghorn going off constantly.
That mermaid though.
That mermaid, that seagull. Like there's just some like visual things that are like never gonna leave my head.
And
again, the dripping whatever that liquid is.
The dripping fluid.
And again, that ending from there's a little fight that happens all the way to the very end is just incredible.
Yeah, amazing.
It's so good.
Absolutely amazing. I always love the movies where they're building tension, and then it snaps like something.
You get the release.
The release. It is like euphoric. It's like, oh fuck. Like, amazing. I love those types of movies, right?
You dog, Eggers.
Movie's so good. I love it. I can't wait to see it again.
Adam, number 4.
Ooh, my number 4. Ooh. I'll give you, speaking of all time, my favorite action film of all time. We're talking Australia's Mad Max Fury Road.
Oh yeah, that is only 2010.
Oh, you heard me. George Miller returning from Happy Feet Land to
the follow-up to Happy Feet.
The follow-up to Happy Feet we were all expecting.
How many years was this in development? Like 10 years, like something
easily.
Crazy.
Mel Gibson was attached to star when it was incepted.
Right.
So I think we can all
10 to 15 years.
Yeah, we can all take from that.
Yes.
George Miller's just triumphant return to absolutely steamrolling every other action director in their lane. And just saying, like, I'm back.
I'm the captain now.
He is the captain now.
That you thought I was the Happy Feet guy? I'm the fucking captain now.
Again, like I said,
Mad Max is back, baby.
It's just like we're going down memory lane, and I'm remembering the narratives leading up to these movies or following after these movies. I don't know if you guys remember, like...
Mad Max did a full 180, like...
Fury Road was supposed to be a disaster.
Yeah.
You guys remember, like, Collider putting out stills?
It got delayed.
There was, like... We're like, is this movie even really shooting? Like, does this movie really fucking exist or not? Yeah. I need proof. Like, what is going on? And eventually we got the still of Tom Hardy in the jacket, and I said, oh, God damn.
To me, like you.
And then we got that trailer, and I said, "Oh, we might got something here, boys."
People still didn't love the trailer, though,
I know.
right?
I remember
Like the
it.
song and everything. Like,
Yep, I do recall.
yeah.
2015 was only 5 years ago, but
I was kind of hit or miss going into the trailer too. Like, I saw the trailer, I'm like, I kind of like this, but like, I don't know. Like,
yeah, I wasn't all in. I was like cautiously, like, okay,
It's gonna be good.
maybe,
like there was the
yeah.
one shot of like the part of the scene with like the like dust storm tornado thing.
Yeah,
I was like,
everyone.
I wasn't sold on that.
Me too.
But
We were wrong. If you like orange, get ready to
a little bit of blue too, like colors.
A little bit of blue
Ended up
with your
getting
orange.
8 Oscar noms or something crazy like that.
Oh, best picture nomination! Like I was so happy. I was like, they did it. They gave an
Yeah.
action movie a best picture.
It was like
nom.
Parasite this year. It was like
Yeah, that level.
they did it.
They did it.
They actually
finally.
did it. Like it was so satisfying.
No, it grabs you. It doesn't let you go. It's a nonstop, literal nonstop, like nail
Chase.
biter. Just like adrenaline shot to my heart. Witness.
It's a car chase. It's an hour and a half car chase.
Exactly.
So good.
I don't know. Like I said, just the practical stunt work, the aesthetic just brings you into that world. I don't know, man. Yeah, it's probably, like I said,
I
my
don't know what I'm
favorite
doing on my
action
day
film.
off. I'm rewatching all my top 10s.
Yeah.
Me too.
It's gonna be hype.
Yeah, just talking about
Alright.
these films, it creates this visceral reaction to it.
Could be higher too.
Okay, we're at top 3. These top 3 movies for me are like literally 6s.
And like a towel.
Like the rest of them, like they're
Yeah.
5s.
Oh, this is a 6. This is my first 6 out of 5.
My
Yeah,
top
Third
3,
row was.
100% 6s. Okay,
Yeah.
my number 3, Nicholas Winding Refn, Drive. This is one of the movies. One
Get
of the
your
first
gloves
movies for
on.
me, like this was kind of an awakening for me. Like there were a couple movies for me, like around this time, maybe before. Like one of them was Blade Runner for me. Like watching that movie, I'm like, okay, this is like a movie.
Yeah.
You
The
know?
OG.
Yeah. But for me, watching Drive in theaters, I was like, okay, this is like a different tempo. This is like a little bit slower, but I'm like, I fucks with this. Like
Big vibe,
I've-
big mood.
there was just something about this movie. I mean, obviously that opening sequence, like we already talked about, like I was fully invested. Like I was on the edge of my seat. Ryan Gosling was amazing. Every scene is iconic in this movie. I don't know, just everything about it. I could watch this movie, rewatch this
I'm watching
movie.
this shit when I go home.
Fuck, and this movie opened me up to Nicholas Winding Refn, who's one of my favorite directors. And just the
What a
level of
bad
cringe. I just love
The cringe.
I remember
God.
the binge you went on when you watched
Yes.
like,
I was like,
all this
I
stuff.
I watched every single one of his movie, even Bleeder, even Fear X.
Even Bleeder.
Okay.
He hasn't even seen Bleeder.
I watched the Pusher trilogy, all that shit.
Oh,
And
Jesus Christ.
man, Drive, it is a moment in my life for me. Like I
Yeah.
fucking love Drive.
Fuck, that's so beautiful, man.
And yeah, it's just one of those movies for me. It's a 6. Tim, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is a 6.
Really?
It's been mentioned.
Out of 5.
Mad Max Fury Road.
Oh!
Written by George Miller, Brendan McCarthy, Nick Lathoris. Directed by George Miller. Starring Tom Hardy,
Mm-hmm.
Nicholas Hoult, and someone that you forgot to mention, Charlize Theron,
I'm an
who
idiot.
is so good in this movie.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this movie's insane. Like, just the
Gasoline.
fucking movie is a thrill ride the whole way through. It's does not let you go the whole time. You're constantly just there with Max, who's such a great protagonist because things just kind of happen to him. He's like, I remember when this movie came out, a lot of people were complaining because he's not really like the
character he like does?
he's not really the protagonist because he's not really doing much.
Furiosa, I guess.
He's kind of like more things are happening to him and he's just kind of like going along with it.
Mm-hmm.
But I love that because he just that's so him. And yeah, I'm hoping we get another one someday from George Miller. We don't know.
He claims we
I
will.
feel
but-
like there's a lot of development hell there because of the whole financial disputes and stuff that
Yeah,
are
he
going on.
was-
Like George Miller suing Warner Bros. And all that stuff like that.
Yeah.
That
That's
really
gonna put a
kills the
sour-
momentum,
yeah.
right?
But yeah, this movie's fucking crazy. It's so crazy.
That's a really good review.
It's
This
fucking
movie's
crazy.
fucking crazy.
Fucking
Yeah,
crazy.
it's insane.
Like, you want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
Cinematography
Fucking
is
nuts.
insane.
Yeah, I feel bad I don't
That
know
whole
who
like
did it,
night
but-
scene that's just all blue.
Oh my god. You reminded me when you said there's some blue too. I forgot. Like, it's a break from the... It's like orange, a thing of blue, and then more orange.
Yeah.
But that blue was
That
so
blue
refreshing.
sequence is so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, gorgeous.
Adam, what's your number 3?
Let me peek, even though I already know it. There she is. It's been mentioned. It's a 6 out of 5, and it's Drive. Nicky Winding Refn. Him soaring to heights he hadn't reached before and hasn't reached after, in my humble opinion. We're talking about, the movie, like Scott alluded to. I could write a love letter to this movie. This opened my world to cinema. I had a cinematic awakening seeing this in the theater.
Once you were a pleb.
I was once a pleb, but I understand the error of my ways.
Yes.
Nicholas, I went to the Church of Nicholas and was reborn a cinephile. This movie's so fucking good. It was literally, obviously I loved movies before this movie, but I feel like I came out of this movie and I was just like...
It's an appreciation.
It's just an appreciation, man. Like, cinematography, I'm like, wow, that movie looked so beautiful. Like,
It created a reaction, right?
What do I call that? I don't even know. How do I describe, when a movie looks beautiful?
I think, one of the biggest reasons this movie's so big for all three of us is that trailer was misleading. You're going in expecting, a high-octane action movie,
Yes.
and then you come out not getting that, but you're like, holy shit, that was something else.
Oh, that's something else, yeah.
That was something else I did not know I needed or wanted, but shit.
Shouts out to my cousin Dan. He's, an artist. He is a few years older than me, and he was telling me, you have to see this movie Drive. And I was like, what? This, I literally just remember being like, Ryan Gosling.
Hercules? Are you kidding me?
Yeah. I was like, Ryan Gosling's doing Transporter, his own Transporter. Because the trailer was high octane, vehicle action.
Yeah.
The shots of him doing the stunt driving stuff.
Yeah. And I
Which
just...
is a very small part of it.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It washed over me like a beautiful dream. It's just amazing. And then you get the hyper violence and stuff. I know I'm gonna cry talking about it. It's so good.
That fucking headshot through the window.
Oh,
I was just like...
the elevator scene.
The elevator scene,
Iconic.
holy shit, it's super iconic.
And I feel like, the
Ron
general
Perlman,
public
yeah.
doesn't appreciate Drive and know, they haven't seen necessarily Drive. And it's just such an iconic movie of the decade. I feel like decades further to come, we'll look back at this as, being a shining gem.
Drive influenced a lot of filmmakers,
Oh,
I think.
how many people do the 80 synth score?
Yeah.
For
huge.
the millennial cinephile boys,
Yes.
Drive is super iconic.
Our age group, late
Yeah.
20s right now.
Like-
It's 10 years ago, roughly. 9-10 years ago.
Early 30s, it's fine.
Yeah. Our age group, Scott.
Yeah, young, early 20s, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, it's 6 out of 5. There's an argument to be made for it to be number 1 for me.
Yeah,
Just because of
I
the
feel that.
impact and the opening me up to appreciating movies in a different way. But yeah.
All right, my number 2.
I'm gonna throw up.
Another 6. I think I
6
watched
of
this
9?
movie at least 4 times in theaters. I'm not the type of person that watches movies multiple times, but my number 2 and my number 1 I watched a bunch of times. Mad Max, Fury Road. I fucking love this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since I saw it, I'm like, okay, everyone needs to see this movie. I took people to see it. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, guys, we're gonna see Mad Max. I was to my uncle, I'm like, okay, you're gonna come with me. We're gonna go see Mad Max.
Fighting the good fight.
And
Spreading the good word.
fucking amazing. I mean, yeah, there is something about this type of film that is so different. Like you were saying, Tim, without that classic protagonist hero arc.
Mm-hmm.
He's just a witness.
Yeah. Witness!
I don't know. He's like a passenger. He's along for the ride.
Yeah.
But this film is just so different in structure to any other film that I'd seen at that point. Yeah. It literally fucking blew my mind. Like Inception, it blew my mind. I'm I've never seen a movie like this. except maybe like a raid, like a straight martial arts like action movie, like Ong Bak or something,
Right.
which blew my mind as a kid. I fucking love Ong Bak, but like,
There's breaks in that.
yeah,
Like, you know,
that's true.
I don't know if I've seen a 2-hour action scene, vehicular action
And
scene.
that's what I mean. It's like a movie like this. It's just like this onslaught.
Yeah. You get like one breathing moment, and I think that's about it.
And like every moment is like, oh fuck, like oh shit, like fuck, like the whole movie is just super visceral. Man, it's just I love this movie. Like I said, just so different than what I'd seen before. I think that's one of the reasons why it had such an impact. Yeah, I just love this movie, Mad Max. Fucking amazing, Tim.
Thank you.
My number 2, you guys might think is a little bit too high,
Uh-oh.
but I absolutely love this movie.
Uh-oh.
It's been mentioned by both of you guys.
I should-
It's Whiplash.
Oh!
Damien Chazelle's
Hey, I'm not... Hey, you know bad
film.
talk from
Miles
me.
Teller, J.K. Simmons, Melissa Benoist,
Paul Weiser.
Paul Weiser.
Forgot who's in it.
Yeah, I saw this with Adam, as mentioned earlier, and it blew me away. Immediately hit my top 10, still in my top 10 of all time. I absolutely love this film. I think what I love about it so much is that you don't really root for either character. You're not a fan of J.K. Simmons.
No.
You're not overly a fan of Miles Teller, but
No.
I'm still like drawn in because it's so
It's
well,
engaging.
it's so well edited, it's so well directed, so well written, and probably has my favorite ending, almost of all time.
Oh,
That like 9-minute like drum sequence
Yeah.
at the end. I routinely watch that monthly on YouTube. I'm like, I just want to watch this ending
I'm gonna do that when I get
and that
home.
little nod, and then just,
Oh my god.
How about Paul Weiser like peeking
Yeah.
through the doorway, seeing
you
his
see
son?
his son, and you see the
achieve
look on his face, and
Super
he's like
Saiyan?
sad that he's doing it, but how this movie's insanely good. It still holds up. It's so good.
Oh my god, I want to watch it right now. God damn.
Man. Adam, number 2. Bud.
Number 2, eh? Well, this is the second appearance from a certain director on my list. Some have called the GOAT, some have called the God. Me. Mr. Nolan.
Mm,
It's been mentioned.
mm,
Inception.
mm.
This
Shit.
little film blew my mind, needless to say. 2010,
Yeah,
I believe.
10 years old.
I was 17, seeing it in the theater. I just took it
Yeah.
purely viscerally and was like, this is like my favorite James Bond movie because Leonardo DiCaprio is Bond in it. This is amazing. This is the director of The Dark Knight, which is probably still to this day my favorite movie of all time. And I was just like, this is amazing.
You were fully committed going in.
I was committed, man. And
Fully erect going out.
yep. Empty, actually. I fully admitted to not understanding like the layers of Inception,
It was
right?
the gift that kept on giving, though.
Over the decade,
The rewatches.
I just the rewatches and the rewatches and the rewatches, and I just recently 2 months ago rewatched Nolan's filmography to prepare for Tenet, and this movie is like just sunken in. It still continues to sink in, and I just loved it more than ever. It's the perfect marriage of like budget and resources meeting like a genius original IP
Master.
concept, and then you have the master to execute
Yeah.
the concept. And that's my favorite thing about Nolan. Also why I'm so excited for Tenet. It looks the most similar to Inception.
Super original, yeah.
Yeah, Tenet's gonna be crazy.
And not literally, I mean like looks like it's the same movie. I mean just an original idea
Where
being
you're like, what is this?
right, being fueled with like infinite resources. Normally we have to accept this trade-off of like you can do this original idea but we're not risking
Yeah, we
any
pay you
money.
a quarter of what we
Yeah.
pay someone else to do.
Yeah, like it looks like what I've
Nolan
been
obsessed.
yeah, what I've been saying about Tenet is it looks like if he could have made Memento now.
Mm.
Like Memento is like the comparable like for amazing insane idea but you have to shoot it like on the street like
Yeah.
with no money.
Yeah.
But then Inception was like the birth of like even Dark Knight, he had these massive budgets, but it's because he was doing Batman.
Yeah.
But Inception was the birth of like, oh my god, you can do an original movie.
Super high concept with like a budget.
High concept, perfect
Yeah.
word. With a budget. Yeah.
Amazing.
It's top 10 of all time as well. It's top 10 of the decade.
I have a feeling of what I think it is.
I mean, I think we
If
all
you
know.
know Scott.
We all know. We all know what these number ones are going to be.
Tron.
Tron Legacy.
This isn't the guilty pleasure list.
John Carter.
Oh, this
No,
isn't the bad list.
Fuck, guys. I mean, number one
I'm gonna cry.
of the decade. Blade Runner 2049.
Mm.
I mean, was there any surprise? Was there any...
Sweet release.
Was
Euphoric
we knew
release.
this was coming. I fucking love this movie. I mean, Blade Runner has always been a super... Like, Blade Runner was the movie when I was younger. I saw it in high school when I did a school project on Ridley Scott
Wow.
because I loved Gladiator as a kid.
Wow.
And I was like,
Really?
we had to do a project about a director, and I was like, I love Gladiator. I'm gonna do Ridley Scott. Looks like he did this movie, Blade Runner. I
Why
watched
is
this.
tiny movie Blade
20
Runner.
years prior.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, it's apparently a cult classic
Yeah,
film.
well, that's true. Actually, it is.
And
which is weird.
I watched it, and then I fucking watched it again, and then I watched it again, and then I watched it again,
You
and then I
son
fucking
of a
watched it another
bitch.
fucking time, and then I fucking watched it again, and I just fell in love with this universe. And when they announced 2049 with fucking Denis Villeneuve, Ryan Gosling, Harrison Ford's back, amazing. Like, I love this
Deakins.
movie. Deakins.
Come on.
Finally winning an Oscar.
Cinematography in this movie is like top 5 all time. I don't even know.
I was gonna say, is
it's
this the best
so
looking
hard.
movie of all time?
It looks amazing.
Yeah,
Like
it
the
might be.
water,
Yeah.
like
Oh,
as
the
Ty
water.
as Ty would say, the colors.
The colors.
So many
I mean,
colors.
like Mad Max levels of orange and blue,
Mm.
right? But then other colors too. We got
Hans
some purples.
Zimmer.
Yeah.
We got Hans Zimmer coming in.
Dude,
We got the A-list crew. The legends came together. clashing
every
with
scene in this
fucking
movie
Titans.
is super iconic for me. Ryan Gosling, amazing. The story was perfect for it to return to this universe.
Joe.
And, I mean, we saw this movie, I don't know if you were there. No, you weren't there, were you? At the Cinesphere in Toronto.
Oh.
No, I cannot make it.
Oh my God.
Lordy, have mercy.
Oh Lord, have mercy.
But
on
honestly,
me.
when I first, and I feel like we watched it together for the first time too, at Landmark.
Landmark, Limax, if you will.
Limax. When there's like those booms in the beginning,
Whoa.
those booms, like when it has the like replicants, Blade Runner, whatever it says in the beginning, and then it cuts to the eyeball, and it's like this like intense like air raid horns type sound. I fucking like the hair raised on the back of my neck, like, and every time I see that,
Jiznami.
yes, a fucking
A
tsunami
literal
of
Jiznami.
jizz.
Yeah.
It's amazing, dude. It's fucking amazing. I don't even know what to say.
Hey, I can't.
It's so good.
Maybe it's interesting
It's just-
that you feel that way.
It's fucking insane, dude.
Embargo.
It's alright.
Yeah, fucking Denis. This put it over the edge for me with Denis. Like, I was like, this man can do no wrong for me right now. Amazing film. Amazing film. My number one of the decade. 2049. Tim,
So my number one.
what do you got?
It's the third appearance by this director. Realistically,
Okay.
all 6 movies that he's made in the 2010s could probably be on my list because they're all 5s.
True.
That's
But
not
this
bad.
one stands out.
Huh.
It's Blade Runner
2049.
2049.
Interesting.
It is mind blowing how good this movie is. Initially, when it gets announced that they're making a sequel, I'm like, this is gonna be shit.
Like, who the
And they
fuck
started
is this?
attaching people to it. I'm like, all right,
Hells yeah,
hells
brother.
yeah,
What's
man.
this?
Yeah, if you're talking like pure aesthetics alone,
Oh.
best looking movie of all time.
Oh
It's fucking gorgeous looking.
I can't say
Deakins
you're
finally
wrong.
breaks his 15 film streak and wins.
Was it
I
15?
think it was maybe it was 13 at that
Something like
time.
that? Double digits though.
He's now back to back best cinematography winner, which is so good.
That's super satisfying.
Yeah.
Not back to back.
Love that.
And his speeches are great. His 2 speeches have been like, "Thank you to my team." Essentially,
super
is what he
humble.
said. It's
He's
great.
so humble.
Harrison Ford coming back.
Perfect.
I often don't like when people reprise roles because they usually don't care. Like he was good in Force Awakens, but I'm like, he's probably doing it for a paycheck. He's always loved Blade Runner. I don't think he's ever spoken ill about his time doing that movie or anything. So it was great that he was back on board. And then just Gosling just killing it. I remember being in theaters, I think with you guys probably in Landmark when we first saw it together. I think I was probably there. I don't know who else I would have seen it with.
You have no other friends.
I was so pissed in that first 5 minutes when Gosling's getting his head bashed in. I'm like, this is fucking ridiculous. Like, this guy's a human. He's going to get his... He'd be dead. And then they reveal something that they somehow hid from the trailers. I'm like... I never recovered from that. My mind exploded that they hid that twist.
Scanners.
And I was just like...
You went full scanners.
I went full scanners. I was just like...
Yeah, they went full like embargo mode, right? Leading up to it. Like, they wouldn't say anything about the plot. They're
no
like,
idea.
Like, they'd be on talk shows and be like, can you say anything about it? They're like, I can't. I'm in it. Like,
thank them. I thank them.
Like, it was perfect.
Anna de Armas, who's great in this.
Breakout role.
Yes.
Mackenzie Davis is great in it. So many just...
Everyone's
great in this. The lady, I forgot who plays Love now, or Joy.
Yeah, I can't think of her name.
Joy?
She was
Love.
amazing.
The other one.
Love.
I forgot who plays her for her name. She has a weird name. She was fantastic
She's amazing
as the villain.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say. Jared Leto is good. He's Jared Leto. He's the weakest part. He's the weakest part of that movie, but he's still good.
I still think he was good. I agree.
But yeah, just so good. So good.
My man.
It's in my top 5 of all time.
Well, I'd hate to recreate the 2017 top 10 of the year episode.
Yeah.
But Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah, buddy.
Denis Villeneuve, my Canadian brother, I thank you. This movie's an absolute masterpiece.
Yeah.
I gotta just take the leap of faith and just put it in my top 10 all time. I don't know what it's not doing there.
It has to be.
It's my top 5 of all time.
Yeah, it's... Listen, we got A-list everything. Like, Denis made his dream team list and just... Okay, well, I would want Deakins to shoot it. He's the best of all time. Check. Hans Zimmer, arguably best composer of all time. Check. Like, he just...
Still had Ridley Scott come back as an executive producer as well.
Absolutely.
So you still get the original creator input.
Giving his, like, approval on decisions. Got Harrison Ford back. You got Ryan Gosling, like, literal perfect casting.
Sid Mead back to do a little bit of concept art as well, who created the universe in the original Blade Runner. So that was key to get that look back.
Yeah. The look of this film is insane.
Yeah, the attention to detail, like, the budget, again, being approved for this movie and then being spent on screen, like all of it, like
sets though,
on sets,
like miniatures,
the
like
effort,
fuck CG, like
right.
I mean, they obviously use CG, but like in the best possible way.
Yeah, it's where you can't tell that it's
like
CG.
Tangible, like it, like all the sets were like amazing. Like this is how you do that, right?
It's like the anti George Lucas Star Wars prequels.
Yeah.
Like just the level
Build
of
everything.
care, build everything,
and
and show it. Yeah, you know, watch the making of documentaries; they're incredible. Yeah, just a masterpiece, and I've seen it a handful of times now, and it just never gets old. Like I could watch it again right now.
Yeah,
I want to watch it when I get home tonight.
I literally feel like watching it.
On my day off, I'm watching Blade Runner 2049. Like it's gonna happen.
Well, Mad Max action, maybe a little dry.
Mad Max.
Like you said,
whatever.
The hiding of the twist and the multiple twists, like you thinking that he's the son of Deckard, I believe, right? And then
halfway through the movie, I'm like, oh, I get it. The whole movie, and I love movies like a lot of these movies are like that. Maybe not Mad Max, but a lot of these movies you're like, okay, I think I understand.
Yeah,
I think I understand.
Yeah, and once you're good, you're like, all right, I'm cool with where this is going. And
fuck you.
But in such an intelligent way, and this film, it was just perfect. It was like what Rian Johnson was trying to do with Last Jedi. Was it? No, like the whole like raise a nobody in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like, but done right. It's like they committed to it.
Yeah.
With
you are a nobody.
Yeah.
Right. Oh my god, that's perfect. I've never heard that comparison.
Like, you know, there's that temptation to like, you know, make, you know, the protagonist like in the sequel like related or somehow they're like the son or the daughter or whatever. Like what was that? Like the Pirates movie where like the one girl was like
Jeffrey
Barbossa's
Rush's,
like
I'm
daughter or something.
You
I'm
don't
like,
need to do
it
that.
just doesn't matter. Like nobody asked for this. Like
Yeah.
they can be a character on their own, or they can
No.
be a nobody, and that can be profound too.
Yeah.
And that was what was so amazing about Blade Runner, like that twist was like, fuck, he's just a
Nobody.
replicant, but you know what? He fucking found his purpose.
Yeah.
It was
Yes.
fucking beautiful.
Him lying on the stairs in the snow
Mm.
Fucking amazing.
is just like pure catharsis. Like,
Those tests as well are so. His baseline tests are just such a
Oh.
cool scene.
legendary.
Oh, so good.
Damn. Well, that's our top 10 of the decade. Want to give a couple honorable mentions?
Nolan's films in general. Inception is an oversight by me.
Thank you.
Denis' filmography that
All
did make it for
Denis
me.
on Sunday could have been on there. Enemy could have been on there. Rival. Dunkirk just got bumped from my list.
Yeah.
I would have
Thank
Dunkirk
you.
over Inception, I think, if I had to put a Nolan film.
For me, one I had a really hard time cutting was The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Fincher. I love that film. Arrival, Florida Project. I cried.
Sob. I saw
Revenant didn't make the list for me. Scott Pilgrim. I love that movie.
Scott Pilgrim's great.
But I'm looking at these other movies. I'm like,
It's not as good as those ones.
fuck, it's not as good, but it's so fun.
Yeah.
Shape of Water, I love, and Lighthouse, I love as well.
I would go for my honorable mentions. These are the ones that I like struggled and like killed me to leave off. Ex Machina, Annihilation, the double Alex Garland like double bill.
It's tough.
Both on mine.
It killed me to leave them off. I know. Prisoners, Green Room. Like I fucking love.
I almost
Love
put Green
Green
Room,
Room as well.
Yeah, man.
That's a heavy 4 for me.
Yeah, it's a 5.
Was there Girl with the Dragon Tattoo you mentioned, and then on my way out the door, Looper. Like on my way leaving my house, coming here, forgot about Looper.
Yeah.
And my most recent watch of Interstellar. I just like it more every time I see it. And
It
like,
does grow me every time I watch it.
I've seen it 4 times. Literally every single time, I like it more. So yeah,
Maybe I should rewatch it.
you should, man. I promise.
Well, that'll do it for our top 10 of the decade. Stay tuned with us in 10 years. And
Yeah.
we'll do the 2020s. But
Yes, sir.
Tim, where can people find you?
People can find me on Letterboxd, @RealTim, and on Instagram @TheCraftPundit.
Beautiful. You can find me on Letterboxd @UprealAdam, Instagram @UprealAdam, and Twitter @Franny25.
By myself, Scott, on Letterboxd @UprealScott as well. If you like this video, leave a like on it. Leave a comment below in the comment section. Let us know what your favorite films of the decade are as well. And, of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. As always, keep it real.